Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kayla and it is officially July, which means half of the year is gone already. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about every game I've played in 2024 so far. So we're gonna do that today. I'm not trying to go into a lot of detail for these games because there's kind of a lot. So I'm just gonna give a really short description and whether I recommend it or not. And we will start with all the books that I actually finished. Then I'm gonna go through a couple that I didn't really enjoy, so I stopped playing them, and then the ones that are in progress, but I do plan on going back to them, and there was nothing wrong with them. I just put them down and haven't picked them back up. But let's start. At the start of the year, I played a bunch of sad games because I did this challenge where I wanted to make myself cry playing a video game. So the first 5 games are from that challenge. The first game is Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. In this game, you follow 2 brothers who go on a journey to find a cure for their sick father. It is a really weird game because you play as each brother at the same time. So one hand controls one brother and the other hand controls the other brother, and it took some getting used to, but it was actually really cool. This game was so good. Play this game, absolutely. They recently remastered it, and I didn't play that. I played the old one, but it was so worth it. It was so sad though, so be prepared. The next game I played was Old Man's Journey. This game is filled with puzzles where you move the landscape around to make a path for the old man to keep moving forward. During your journey, you learn about memories and about his family. It's a pretty good game, but the puzzles were not very challenging. They got a little bit harder as you moved on, but it was never really difficult to get through, and it was only about an hour and a half, so I do recommend buying this when it goes on sale, which it does actually go on sale pretty often, but overall I enjoyed it. It was actually really pretty, the colors in the game. Then I played The Last Campfire. In this one, you play as a little Ember who is lost in more ways than one. He is trying to find a path forward, but he's also trying to find himself in the meantime. This game had a lot of puzzles that I loved, like the type of puzzle that it was, I really enjoyed. It's also really pretty. It was very beautiful, and I definitely recommend this one, and it also goes on sale really often. Most of these games I think are on sale right now because the summer sale is going on, but I saw some crazy sales in the Steam shop right now. Then I played What Remains of Edith Finch. This game was so weird. While you explore the old Finch house, you learn about the family history, and you play as the last Finch alive, and you're trying to figure out why they are the last Finch. I had no idea how this is gonna be when I first started it. I just thought that her family died tragically in an accident. We were going to learn about it, but you actually go through every single family member and their death, which is completely unrelated to the other family members' deaths. It was so different from what I expected. It was a bit dark, but it was really good. Really good. And the last game that I played to try to make myself cry was To the Moon. In To the Moon, you play as 2 doctors who are visiting an old man in his deathbed, and their goal is to travel through his memories to make his final wish come true, and his wish was that he wanted to go to the moon. This game was mostly story. The puzzles were actually very minimal. You do something in each of the memories, and you have to do a little puzzle to move on, but most of it was just reading the story. But the story was really good. It was so sad. There was plot twist after plot twist towards the end. It was crazy. I'm usually not a fan of games that are mostly story and not a lot of game, but this one I think was worth it. And other than I feel like it being a little dated, overall it was good. Another game I played was Packmaster, and then this is just a short little puzzle game with levels. You just have random shaped items that you have to stick in a suitcase, which is also randomly shaped. Sometimes you'll have a guitar case and you have to pack a bunch of random stuff in it, like bananas or something, and everything is really weirdly shaped, but you have to fit everything inside the suitcase. But it was a cute little game that you can play while you're listening to a podcast or audiobook, which is what I normally do. Next, I played Every Letter. This was a completely free game that gave me the idea of Violet Evergarden, because you write letters for others. You get a prompt, and they're I want to tell this person about this event or this thing that happened in my life, and then you just write the letter for them and you submit it. and it was a short game. It was only like 30 minutes, but it's completely free, so I would recommend trying it out if you want to do that kind of thing. Why not? It's completely free. It's on Steam, so just get it. A Taste of the Past I played as well. It's also a free game, and you play as a girl who's grieving the loss of her mother, and she's sad because her mother never gave her this noodle recipe that she needed. I think she found it, but it was like the pages were faded and she wasn't able to read it. So she ends up on a train with all of her ancestors, and as she navigates through the train, she learns about her ancestry and all her family stories, and then she also ends up learning the recipe as well. It was a cute short game. It was giving me Venba vibes, but it was a lot shorter. And there was only really one recipe. As you moved along, you did like a cooking mini game, but each of the things is related to the noodles. So in the first cooking mini game, you might be like getting the ingredients, and the next one you might be like boiling the noodles or things like that. So it wasn't a lot of different cooking. It was just one recipe that you were learning as you move through the train. Then I played some short games because I was in a gaming slump. So I was like, let me play these 3 games right here. So the first one I played was A Short Hike, and I really enjoyed it. You play as this cute little bird, and you get to hike and soar while you explore the mountainside where his mother grew up in. Your goal is to eventually get to the summit of the mountain, but you get a lot of time to explore before you make it there. This game actually took me by surprise. I did not expect it to enjoy it as much as I did, but it was really nice. It's recommended a lot in the cozy gaming community, and I understand why. It was really nice. I also played When the Past Was Around, and this was so good. I'm obsessed with all of these games. I'm sorry. This is a point and click puzzle game, and I also really love this type of puzzles. They were challenging enough where you couldn't figure it out really easily for some of them, but they weren't impossible to figure out, so you didn't get too stuck while you were trying to move on. Each room is made of her memories, and you have to find a way to unlock the door to move to like the next room, which is the next memory. The music is beautiful. It's all like violin music, and it's just so cozy and beautiful, and the game itself is also beautiful. It was a bit sad though. It's like a love story, but without spoiling it, I'm not sure exactly how this love story ended because there's no words or anything. It's just music and the visual story that you're watching as you solve the puzzles. So I'm not 100% sure how this love story came to an end, but it does, and so it does become sad towards the end. Next I played Florence. Oh my god. Florence is a love story as well. It's so good. This stars like this one woman who is learning about herself and figuring out what she wants. She's 25 and she feels stuck in her life. She pretty much went to school and did what her parents wanted her to do, but she's realizing that she's not happy with it. So then she meets this guy who encourages her to follow her dreams. And so you get to see their life together and her chasing those dreams. He's like a cello player, so he's also trying to chase these dreams. It's so good. It's just only like 30 minutes long, but it is so good. The music is 10 out of 10. The story is 10 out of 10. The puzzles were really easy. Like it's not really a hard, difficult puzzle game. It's just to keep you doing something while you're going through the story. But they were entertaining enough because each puzzle is unique. You don't do the same puzzle more than once. Play this right now. And the last game that I finished this year is the DLC for A Little to the Left. It's called Seeing Stars. I am obsessed with A Little to the Left. It's probably my favorite game. I am not a fan of DLCs, but A Little to the Left is my only exception. Like, no matter how many DLCs they get, I'm going to play them. They came out in 2022. I loved it. I played the whole game in like one sitting, did not stop. Then a year later, they did a DLC, and I played that immediately. And now in June, the Seeing Stars DLC came out, and it was so good. And they only improved on the game that I already loved. They added new types of puzzles, which was amazing. They also added hints for each of the solutions instead of just hints of one of the solutions, which was something that was really annoying in the first game. That was my only issue with the game, and they completely fixed it for this DLC and update. It is so good. I don't know if I didn't even describe what this game is. In this game is just so varied because you have different kinds of puzzles. Most of them are organizing or decluttering kind of thing. You get so many different kinds of puzzles, so it's kind of hard, but it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying to find each of the solutions for it, because there's like some puzzles that have 5 solutions. So you'll think about it and you'll find one of them, and you'll think about it some more, you find another one, and then you get stuck because it's so good. So this is a 10 out of 10 game, and if they keep making DLCs, I will keep buying DLCs. And I've never said that about a game before, but I stand by it. It's so good. It's my favorite game. It's definitely my favorite game. Okay, so next are the games that I started, but I didn't finish, and I don't plan on returning to them, whether it's because I just personally didn't like them or I just don't want to. It's only 2. It's not that much. I really like giving games a shot and playing throughout the whole thing. But when it's one of those games that takes like hours and hours and hours and I'm not enjoying it, then I'm going to put it down, because that's just going to put me in another slump. Okay, so the first one was Witchy Life Story. In this one, you play as a witch who goes to a town that really needs her help to save the Harvest Festival in 2 weeks. You tend to a garden, make spells, and help the villagers with everything they need. So they'll ask you for help with something, and then you figure out which spell or which concoction you should make to help them with it, and you give it to them, and then you have to hear about it. I really tried liking this game. I played it 2 times to try to get into it, but I just got kind of bored. It was a lot of reading and not a lot of puzzle, and like I said earlier, I don't enjoy games that are mostly reading, because I love puzzle games, so I want that puzzle aspect. And this game just didn't have that. The puzzles that they did have were really easy. Like, it was the exact same puzzle pretty much the entire time. And then when you tend the garden, you pretty much tend it once a day. And then you make like some potions and deliver them. But when you do that, you also have to talk to every single villager every time. So you have to sit there and talk. They're like, not a lot of villagers, maybe like 6, but you have to sit there and talk to every single one every single time. And I just got really tired of reading. And if you like reading and you don't stream, because I get tired of reading out loud especially, but if you like visual novels, you might be a fan of it. But I personally am not a fan of visual novels, so I maybe should have known that I wasn't gonna enjoy it before getting it. But I personally thought it was gonna have more puzzles. The other game that I did not finish and will not finish because I'm not picking it back up is Garden Story. And I don't feel great about it because it is really cute and I had high hopes for it. Play as this little grape. Pretty sure his name is Concord. I think that's his name. But it was really cute, and I love meeting all the different fruit, and some of the names were really cute and clever and punny. Like, there was a older woman who was like a green apple, and her name was Granny Smith. And I don't know, but I ate that up. No pun intended. But it was a little bit too repetitive for me. I personally don't like farming games, and although this isn't really a farming game, it's the kind of game where like you have a day and you have to come back to your home before the day is over, and then you go to bed and then you start the new day and then you do everything all over again. And I don't enjoy that as much because I don't like having to go back to my room, go see what I have to do for the day, run out of time, have to go back to my room and start all over again. I don't really enjoy that. That was my problem with this one. You have to gather materials and fulfill board requests every day, and I got bored. I got bored pretty fast. There's just so much back and forth, but that's just a me thing. Like, if you like farming games and you don't mind that kind of thing, you might still enjoy this because plenty of people love farming games and I don't. So if you do, give it a try. For me, it was not a thing. But maybe I gave it up too soon, but I couldn't keep playing it because I would rather play something that I'm gonna enjoy instead of trying to push myself to play it and not enjoy it. So that was it for Garden Story. So now I'm going to talk about the games that I started and I haven't finished, but I plan on finishing them. So I pretty much just am playing these now, or I started playing them and someday I stopped and never came back to them, but I am going to go back to them. So first is Bear and Breakfast. I started playing this in like January or February, and I really enjoyed it. And you play as this bear who runs a bed and breakfast, and it's a management game, and I really enjoy management games. And I have about 5 hours of playtime, and I really enjoyed it, and I did not want to stop playing, but I got to a point where I have to rearrange everything in order for it to be successful still. And the thought of reorganizing everything that I did already made me really tired. So I like put it down and I'm like, I'm gonna get back to that next time. And then I never got back to it, but I really think it's a really good time management game, or not even time management necessarily, but like management in general, because it's like a hotel. But I think it is one of the best management games and I really enjoyed it. I just need to get over the idea of reorganizing everything and starting over. The other game I have currently taken a break from is Dave the Diver. This one you dive and catch fish by day and you run a sushi restaurant by night. And I feel like this is really creative because you get 2 games in one. It's like a management game / dungeon crawler on the side, and it's so cool. I love the management part, so I love the sushi restaurant, and I wish that part was longer because I get tired of the constant diving. And it's literally called the Diver, so it's really me. But I enjoyed it and I still want to go back. But every time you go down in the ocean, you explore different areas and you meet new creatures. And some of them want to eat you, so you have to like fight them. But okay, it's not the diving in general that gets me mad. It's the dungeon crawler thing where like if you go in and you get like your best weapon that you like, you have a good time. But sometimes you go in and you only find the weapons that you absolutely hate, and then you struggle the entire time to catch anything you really want to. And I was also getting to a point where it was starting to get more difficult, so I was like, I need a break, and then I never picked it back up. But I will I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna play this game again. Okay, next is Spider-Man 2. I started playing Spider-Man 2, I think at the end of December 2023, and I played it a lot. I played it most of the end of December, then I played it throughout January, but it's a really long game. I played a lot of hours, and when I started playing at first, I was so obsessed. I played for so long, and then one day I just put my controller down and I didn't pick it back up, and I don't know why, but I love this game. You play as both Peter Parker and Miles Morales, and they each have like different abilities on top of the regular like Spider-Man ones, and you have to switch back and forth depending on like what part of the story you're on. And I love the gameplay so much, and it is super entertaining, and I don't know why I stopped playing this. I think it was starting to get more difficult. Not really. I'm playing it on like the regular mode because it has like 5 different levels of difficulty, and I played like the normal mode. But it's so good. I don't know why I stopped playing. I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna run out of time in 2024 before I go back to these games. But I will play this game. And the other game I've been playing this on my phone. It's Good Pizza, Great Pizza. This one's a pizza shop management game. Apparently this is my year for management games because this is like the 5th time I'm playing this on my phone, and I love it. When I first started playing it, I played like the first 3 days or so, and I found it a little boring, but normally management games like that start off a little boring because it's like really easy and like trying to get you used to it. But then once I got through a few days worth of game, I really started to enjoy it. The customer orders can be like puzzles, and they say the most random things and expect you to know exactly what they want on their pizza. They never just tell you, hey, I want a pepperoni pizza. They'll just be like, hey, give me this pizza that is peppy or something. That was a terrible example. But yeah, it was just like, it's crazy. I really enjoy it. And I love the puzzle aspect because I feel like that's what makes it so good, because I've played a lot of management games. I used to play Diner Dash and Cake Mania so much growing up, and I love them so much. But in every single one of those games, they're just like, hey, I want this, and then you prepare that specific thing and you move on. But in Good Pizza, Great Pizza, it's so much easier to like get an order completely wrong, and which I have done because I try not to look up what they're saying. But they'll say something like, hey, I want a pizza with no grain. And they just mean a regular pizza because I don't even have a different type of crust, but they want it's complicated. Let me not go into this game because I will talk about it a lot. But I really do enjoy it, and it's free. It's the kind of mobile game that I like because it's free and it has ads, but the ads are not annoying. Like you only get an ad in between levels pretty much, and you can pretty much avoid all the other ads unless you want to do it to get like the in-game currency. So it's so good. They also have it on like the Switch and the PC, so you could just play it without ads in general, but I am really having fun on my phone. And last but not least, I am playing Life is Strange. I recently started playing this as part of my backlog challenge, which I am in progress of making it. I pretty much pulled the name out and started playing it. Played the first chapter so far and then haven't touched it again, but that video is in progress as I get through the whole thing. In this one, you play as this girl named Max who figures out that she can rewind time. She's like a photography student. I don't know if she's in high school or like college. I think she's in high school. They look kind of young, but she's investigating the disappearance of another student. And all the choices you make throughout the game impact the story. So I just finished the first chapter and it'll like give you a recap of like all the choices you made. So far I don't know what's gonna happen because of those choices because I stopped at episode 1. But so far it's really fun. It's not like really difficult or anything. There's like not really any combat. Sometimes you have to do certain things in time, or you have to rewind and start over, but so far it's good. The story is really good so far, but I'm constantly worried I'm gonna make the wrong choice. I have to remind myself that I can technically replay this so that I can keep my sanity, because even though I probably won't replay it, if I keep thinking about every single choice I make, I'm never gonna finish this game. That's every game I've played so far in 2024. I'm excited to see what the rest of 2024 will be bringing for me, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.